Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker. I'm 51.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Uh, I would say yes, but let's put it like this. I got a question for you before we get started, if you don't
Before
mind.
before you do, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
If those were my choices, it'd be Trump.
For sure. Can I say thank you to some people real quick? Genevieve, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $7. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, the government shutdown has already been in place, and it is the case that pay is not going out until people go back. If they do, of course. If the
Yeah, they've been
particular
furloughed,
employees
but
do.
Trump is threatened to fire 1.2 million people.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much again. Thank you. Or Tristan, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Julia, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Phoebe, thank you so much for the $2. Kenneth, thank you so much for the £5. Thank you. As a journalist, Reuters is the most unbiased source you could possibly have. They have reporters all over the world on the ground reporting. Literally, though.
I
Nathan,
like
thank you so much
BBC
for the
too.
10. Absolutely. Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump? Or actually, yeah, so if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, or you would said you would vote for Donald Trump, so why so?
Again, I got a question for you before we get started, if you don't
Sure.
mind. I don't know how I came across this, and I apologize. I'm not feeling very well, so my voice is a little bit hoarse. But I've seen you before debating Charlie Kirk, and seemed like a pretty smart guy. But I'm just kind of curious what your feelings are, what your perspective is of what happened.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily speaking to the background of Donald Trump, and we appreciate your
Oh,
question, but we
I'll
really
address
like to
Donald Trump. I don't have a
stick to
problem
the.
doing that. I'm just curious because when I
Yeah,
saw
no.
Parker,
I think that Parker and other creators have talked about Charlie Kirk a lot and also expressed our feelings. And I think at this point, I mean, the best thing to do is move forward and try to continue to focus on what's in front of us, what's important, try to get these debates out, try to focus on the government shutdown and also what's coming as far as the 2026 election. So, I would just say, let's move forward if you don't mind,
well,
please.
let me just say this then. Is it fair to say, because I didn't see what you had to say about it, Parker, but is it fair to say that you obviously don't approve of that? You don't approve of people celebrating his
He
death?
he has a statement as well that you can go look
Hmm.
at on his
You can
page.
go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You talk about Trump a lot here, and I'll get into things that I like about him, things I don't like. But name a couple things that you don't like that the Democrats have done in the last 10, 15 years.
Can I name some things I don't like of Democrats? I don't like their always
Well,
great position.
I'll give you an idea where I'm going with this. So I was a Democrat up until Obama got done with his term. I voted for Trump 3 times. I didn't vote for Hillary or Biden because I didn't feel that they were actually elected. I thought they were chosen, and that you look back, and that's I believe to be proven. Um, Now,
Actually, they were elected.
hindsight,
We voted for the Biden-Harris ticket, so Harris stepped up when Biden stepped down.
yeah, Biden may not have won if had all the candidates not dropped out right before Iowa.
You're talking about the 2020
I'm talking
election?
about primaries. I'm talking about
That's in the
primaries with all
that's
the
the
candidates
2020
dropped
election
out.
though.
Right, but would he have been elected if they wouldn't have dropped out? I don't think he would
Also,
have had enough.
you
I
I think Bernie would have probably taken it.
I mean, I would prefer it to have been Bernie, but we can acknowledge that he did win because they did drop out and coalesce behind him.
Also, do you understand why they were pretty much forced to?
Yeah, because they were given cabinet positions.
No. It's because the it's because the overwhelming support that he received in South Carolina. Which, fun fact, I'm from South Carolina, and I did not vote for Joe Biden in the primaries, but South Carolina voted at such a high clip to support Joe Biden that the other candidates didn't see a credible pathway to victory if other states were going to vote similar. So
But
they thought it was smarter to drop out early and try to get a cabinet position versus trying to challenge him.
let's face facts, though. Obama asked them to step down in order to get Biden elected.
Do you have any facts to prove that?
To me, it's pretty.
Okay, but do you have any facts to prove that?
I don't have any facts right now. No.
Okay, so let's not face facts. Let's face your fifis. I mean, we can face
Do you believe that the
opinions,
Democratic
but that's
Party
not a
screwed
fact. Anyway,
Bernie?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were telling us more about it.
Do you believe that the
Could we
Democratic
actually
Party
go
screwed
to like why
Bernie
you
back in
support
the?
Trump? Because like this isn't like a
Yeah.
reason why you support Trump.
No, I just want some of your views. What I'd like to get from you is things that you don't like that the Democrats do. Again, I was a
Okay. I
Democrat
mean,
up
I can
until.
talk about them, but what's the point of this? I mean, I've already addressed these things, and I can keep
Well,
addressing them.
the point is that you guys think the Democrats are the answer, and I can tell you that I haven't been a Democrat for about 15 years now, and the primary reason is because they never did anything for us.
So we think that there are better
They're full of
alternatives than the
shit.
Republicans, and that's just not true. They absolutely have done things. The ACA specifically protecting people who have pre-existing health conditions, right? In terms of being able to get access to health insurance, that's something that they've done, right? We can point to the policies in terms of providing broader access to health insurance through Medicaid, food stamps,
Ask
right?
ask people what they think of their health insurance. I mean, clearly our system is broken when it comes to health insurance.
And that's not because of the systems that have provided them broader access to health insurance. It's because of the system that doesn't provide them enough access or adequate access to it. So expanding access to it would be better, right? I agree that
Oh,
our current system
I'm
does not
for
go far
universal
enough,
health
but
care.
this is better than not protecting it.
I'm for universal health care, but that's my point: is the Democrats had the opportunity to do so and they never did.
Hey,
No, that's just not true.
wait. And
Yeah,
real quick,
Obama could have pushed it.
how many
Single
people are
payer
gonna
did.
lose access to healthcare due to the BBB passing?
Excuse me, repeat the question.
How many people are gonna lose access to the healthcare due to the big beautiful bill passing?
Oh, I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Sure, but how many people are gonna lose access to
I
healthcare
don't
due to
know.
the
I don't know the numbers offhand.
over 10 million? And also, there's about 7 million that's going to lose access to healthcare for the ACA. So about 17 million people are going to lose access to healthcare because of the policies that the Republican Party is passing. So you can talk about what the Democratic Party did not do, but also you have to think about what the Republican Party did do, which is vastly more harmful than with anything that you can say the Democratic Party has done.
So, what is the Democrats giving us as an alternative to fix the current state of healthcare? Because
Actually,
it is broken.
so they've provided multi-payer and single-payer systems that they've talked about expanding access to the ACA. What's Donald Trump's healthcare plan?
Oh, he doesn't have one. That's again. You're not going to debate me on that.
He has
Okay, no way.
concepts of one. We got to give him
Literally.
credit for the concepts.
So then why are you saying that Democrats don't do anything and don't have policies when they do have a policy and Donald Trump doesn't have one?
They only have it when it's convenient.
What?
I don't see them
They've had one
fighting
the
for it.
whole time.
I'll give you an example. Ocasio could have fought back when they elected Pelosi. When they put her up, she could have taken a step back and said, "Okay, well, I want this in order to vote for Pelosi to be."
She did do that.
She didn't.
She literally did.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, then you just need to do the. Sorry, my audio cut out. You just need to do the research then.
Okay, I can do that, but I don't believe that to be true, but I'll do the research. But again, my point is Democrats are, whenever it's convenient, they want to talk about something, but when once they get elected, then they don't seem to do it, and it's always a back and forth. Quite frankly, I'd rather we just eliminate parties altogether.
Okay, so again, let's address this even further. So can you tell me like policies that Donald Trump has provided that Democrats wouldn't provide that is a reason to support Donald Trump over the Democrats?
The border's number one.
Okay, what border policy? The undermining the bipartisan border bill that they did
He
have.
didn't pass a policy, but he did write an
They had a
executive order.
bipartisan
We
border
won't have any
bill.
people coming
Wait, so why did Trump undermine the bipartisan border bill?
because he's trying to position himself. I'm not stupid.
Oh, okay. So he didn't care about policies getting passed, and he cared more about getting elected. And have they passed a policy like that since he got in office?
They haven't, but plain and simple
Okay.
fact is the executive order accomplished what he wanted to do.
What
didn't
did the executive order do?
it? People aren't coming over the border anymore, are they?
Is it because of the executive order?
Well, what do you think it's about?
It's not the executive order.
So what is it?
Maybe okay. So are you assuming and you're putting all your eggs in the basket that it's the executive order, or have you looked into this, or did you just accept the executive order?
So you educate me and tell me what it is.
No,
then.
no, I just need to know before I start speaking.
I believe it's the executive order.
Okay. So no, the executive order is not the reason why more people have stopped coming across the border or stopped coming into the country. It's literally cruelty. The Republican Party is a party of cruelty. They have people Fourth, Fifth, Sixth Amendment right. They've literally done the most heinous things when it comes to trying to track down and prosecute undocumented immigrants, which has landed the United States on human rights watch lists, and it has also impacted our travel industry. The tourism industry is taking a massive hit as well. So it's not an issue of people just aren't undocumented immigrants aren't just quote unquote crossing the border illegally. People aren't coming into the U.S. period because other countries are saying don't travel to the United States. and people aren't coming here.
Okay, so what's so bad about that?
We need people that positively impact everyday Americans.
I think the fact that we're addressing what's in our foods is one thing.
What policy
We're
did he
not.
pass?
We're actually
that
doing it to a
positively-
lesser extent. They got rid of particular types
Exactly.
of
I don't
like
think they're
food
going far
safety
enough. I
programs.
agree with that, but
No, they've got rid of
it's the
food
first
safety
time anybody's talked
programs,
about
like
it.
in restrictions.
But again, it's the first time. Who talked about it before? RFK.
Michelle Obama.
But just talking about it is
Michelle
not.
Obama.
Yeah, just talking about it is not passing policy that's actually going to make our country healthier. Trump's policies have made our country less healthy and reducing access to food, right, and reducing access to health insurance, right. Those are making us less healthy. You understand that, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, Michelle Obama tried to put vegetables in schools and take away snacks and junk food, and you all lost your minds. Like, Republicans lost their minds when Michelle Obama said that maybe kids should have a salad.
Literally.
Like that.
Well, I don't think we have a food problem. I think we have a health problem, and we have also a diet problem in this country.
Yeah, so why would you
Health
want to
is
make
related
health
to
worse
food
by reducing access to health insurance
and
and food?
genetics.
I don't. I told you I want a universal health care. I think
Okay,
people should be
but that's
treated
antithetical
for-
to Donald Trump's policies. You're closer to those
Exactly.
policies if
Your
you
vote doesn't
support
say that.
Democrats.
Again, I'm independent. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't think black and white. It's
You're
always
Republican, bro. You triple Trump. You're Republic. You're a MAGA. You triple Trump. You're MAGA.
Oh, you can call me Maga. I don't care. But the simple fact is, I wasn't given a good choice.
You
I mean,
were.
You think Trump is
Kamala
corrupt?
Harris
I
is a
think
significantly
Hillary.
better. Kamala Harris is a significantly better choice than Donald Trump.
Let me ask you, how did Hillary and Bill get so damn rich?
Why do you just
What does that
randomly
have to
pivot?
do with the last
what
election?
type of pivot is
Exactly.
No, you asked me why I voted Trump 3 times.
What
and
type
I'm
of
telling you
pivot is
my
that?
choices sucked. My
that?
choices
We were
sucked.
talking about Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. So why do you specifically like Donald Trump over
Okay,
Kamala
well,
Harris?
Give me a policy that Kamala Harris represented, and that's why you voted for her.
Well, we already were talking things you didn't have anything, but $6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, $3,000 through them being 18. When implemented in 2021 through the American Rescue Plan, it reduced childhood poverty by 45% when implemented.
Sorry, repeat those slower. You'd like to go faster.
An increase to the child tax credit, $6,000 for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old,
Take a step back. Didn't
$3,000.
Trump-
Can you listen? You told me to restate it, and you're not going to even listen. You're going to cut me off.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
$6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, $3,000 through them being 18, and when implemented in 2021 through the American Rescue Plan, it reduced childhood poverty by 45% when implemented through that 1 year through COVID emergency policy.
Okay.
Also, you're saying Parker's talking a little fast, but if you listen a little faster, he ain't got to slow down for you to catch up. Snitch. Anyway, go ahead.
So, and I don't necessarily disagree with any of those policies. I do question how we're going to pay for it, but I don't think those are necessarily bad. I think there's plenty of families that could use
If you
that.
ask how we're going to pay for it, well, we're going to increase taxes on income over $400,000 a year. And Kamala Harris's campaign plans, according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, a nonpartisan committee from the federal government, would cost $4 trillion less in debt-related spending comparative to Trump over the next 10 years.
So you talk about taxes. Why don't we just reform the tax law so that there isn't so many loopholes? Why don't we just have a flat tax?
I agree. No, flat tax does not get around the loopholes, right? We can get rid of loopholes without getting rid of a flat tax or imposing a flat tax.
And Kamala Harris wanted to address the loophole.
Yeah, she was trying to address loopholes. Democrats are the ones that talk about the loopholes and wanting to address them, whereas Republicans are the ones that want to impose more loopholes so that they can give their rich friends bigger tax breaks.
Oh, I agree. They should all be paying more taxes, but I just don't think Kamala.
Again, you agree with Democratic policy, and you can't even give a reason why you don't like Kamala Harris.
I just didn't think she was that smart, and I didn't think that she was.
Really, you think? Wait, do you think that Donald Trump was smarter than Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump. I don't know if smart would be the word I would use with Donald Trump.
But why is the word you use with Kamala Harris then?
Yeah, literally.
Just because any interviews I ever saw of her, I didn't think she was genuine, and I didn't think she was smart.
Wait. What makes you think that she was not smart? And also, Donald
Well,
Trump is not. Do you agree that Donald Trump
let's
is? Wait, do you agree that she's smarter than Donald Trump?
I don't
A
know.
dolphin fetus is smarter than Trump.
Yeah, so
That's
Donald
not,
Trump said the climate's going to start cooling and science just doesn't know it yet. He said that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. He said that if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won. Do you really think that he's smarter? Or is he even comparable?
I think that's like choosing between a butter knife and a regular sharp knife. I mean, it's just there's not a good choice in either one
That's
of them.
not true.
What?
You literally, I mean, you engaging in the questioning of this black woman's intelligence is just literally a long
It has
stigma
nothing to do with race.
yeah,
or
it's a stigma that has followed black people as far as them being less intelligent than their peers while overachieving. Kamala Harris not only has multiple degrees and a long history in legislation and has work for or work under every branch of government. But she is someone who literally had plans on plans and actual prepared documentation for how she wanted to get those things done. It's not that she wasn't smart, it's that you weren't smart enough to actually realize what she was saying.
Okay, first off, I don't care about her race. I don't care about her gender. I
Sure you
really
don't.
don't. I voted for Obama twice.
That
Okay.
doesn't.
So you think
Oh my
race
God.
really matters to me?
And do you know what
Yes.
intersectionality is?
Do I know it? No, please explain.
I'm not. Do you know what misogynoir is?
Well, you apparently do, so explain.
I'm not going to explain that either. Look both of those up in your free time. Anyway, keep going.
So you think I'm racist and I'm sexist?
I think you have biases.
Of course. And that's what my government has given me.
Yes, and so you thought that the white orange man, I don't know. Anyway, you thought the less appropriate, less educated, less government oriented person was better than the career
Let's
congressperson.
make fast. Kamala kind of slept her way into
Kamala.
position for a while.
No,
there.
what evidence do you have that
See,
Kamala Harris, quote
there
unquote,
it is.
slept her way to the top?
That's misogynoir. Again, you need to look that up. You
You don't
need to
believe
look
that she
that
did
up.
that?
No, you need.
Give us evidence.
Donald Trump cheated on his first wife with the second wife with his third wife with his with the corn star. Literally, Donald Trump has 26 credible accounts of SA. Donald Trump was adjudicated for rape. Donald Trump actually has in the divorce decree of his first wife. She listed that he raped her and pulled out her hair, and then the day after said, "Oh, did it hurt?" Donald Trump has been misogynistic and sexist in every single way. And for you to actually call Kamala Harris' sex life into question while she has been elected to multiple positions and Donald Trump literally is a Nepo baby, like it's mind blowing.
It's funny when you say she was elected to multiple positions, but she wasn't elected to run for president.
She was elected
chosen.
for multiple positions. She absolutely
was
was
chosen.
elected.
She wasn't
No, she
No,
was
elected.
elected.
what you don't understand is that 80% of the Democratic Party was satisfied with her being the nominee. Plus, what you're not taking into
Oh,
account
the
is that
Democratic Party.
Listen.
Yeah, the DNC,
When we voted
sure.
it, listen. When we voted in the primary, we voted for the Biden-Harris ticket. That means if Biden steps down, Harris steps up. I'm sorry that you didn't pay attention in history class in 6th grade, but that's how the context of vice presidency and presidency works.
Yep.
She still wasn't elected. She was
Well,
chosen.
yes, she was. Biden-Harris ticket was elected, meaning that she was elected. The vice president steps up when the president steps down. Again, you should have paid attention in history classes in 6th grade.
Also, really quick, you said you used to be a Democrat. How does the Democratic primary work? How does someone get chosen as the Democratic nominee?
Well, the last 20 years, it's basically been chosen by the DNC.
Yeah, I don't care about all that. How does the
You
process work?
don't. You guys are.
No, because you're pontificating, you're talking about the fifis and you're telling them I don't care what you think or what you feel. I want to know how the process works.
We supposedly vote in a primary for the candidates that are running.
You're wrong.
But here's the issue with
You're wrong.
the process.
You're wrong. You're
Oh,
wrong.
well, how is it chosen?
The Democratic, first and foremost, the Democratic primary, the DNC and the RNC get to actually dictate how they choose their candidates, but you don't vote directly for the candidate. You actually vote for delegates, and then the delegates actually pledge their votes
yeah,
to a
yes,
specific candidate. So
I
what
understand
happened
that, but
was.
again-
What happened was Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were on the ticket together, and the delegates were actually committed to Joe Biden, and then Joe Biden actually dropped out, and Joe Biden released his delegates, and then the delegates automatically said, "Hey, Kamala, you know what? We can shift over to you because you were on the ticket." And Kamala Harris said no. She literally said no. She said she wants to earn it. And so there was an open primary where anyone could have challenged her. And people looked around and realized they only had 107 days. They realized that there was over $100 million that was dedicated to the Biden-Harris war chest that only Joe Biden and Kamala Harris could access. So they would have to start from ground up as far as fundraising. And they all said, no, thank you. And that's why Kamala Harris did not receive the nomination until she got to the DNC when they did the roll call. And when the roll call happened, the delegates pledged their vote to Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris got all the votes, literally all the votes.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that
hey, no, just address what I said just now. Can you admit that she did get votes and you were wrong?
I think you proved my point a little bit in the fact that it's chosen by the DNC. It's not chosen by the people.
Holy smokes.
The same thing happens in the RNC. Lisa, thank you so much. You're amazing. Same thing happens in the RNC. Oh, don't want to acknowledge that one.
Which particular time are you talking?
I'm talking about in the RNC. That's the nomination of candidates in the different parties.
Okay, well, give me. You like to say it.
How do you think that Donald Trump was nominated?
From what I saw, he pretty much won all the primaries. Is how he got nominated.
And then
Donald
based
Trump,
upon the primaries, the delegates vote, correct?
They do, and I don't think it should be chosen by the. I don't think the delegates should.
That's what it exists for both parties. That's just the process.
Also, Donald Trump didn't even meet the actual qualifications for the RNC to be their nominee, because part of the qualifications to become an RNC nominee is to participate in the debates, and Donald Trump did not do so. They still gave him the nomination, even though he didn't meet that qualification. So was he was just appointed, right? If he didn't meet the actual qualifications, he was appointed, right?
Again, I don't agree with the fact of delegates choosing.
But sure, but if Donald Trump did not meet the actual qualifications of how the RNC selects the person they're going to put up for the presidential nominee, Donald Trump didn't meet that. He was appointed, right?
Yeah, and I don't agree with that.
Okay, perfect.
Do you guys believe that anybody should be able to get on that debate stage if they're running for president? Or do you think it should be limited like the Republicans and the Democrats do?
Obviously, there's some limitations that exist for it.
It's got to be some, but let's face facts. They're not allowing third parties or anything to join a debate. How are we ever going to have actual elections in this country if we can't have other viewpoints, other opinions?
Well, I believe in a multi-party democracy, but we're not going to get that to a greater level of democracy with Donald Trump, who's undermining our democracy. If you care about democracy, why are you voting for a guy who incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol when he lost the election?
Mm-hmm.
You call it insurrection. I don't see it that way.
Oh, really? You don't think that they were trying to take back the country from those that stole it from them? Under their own perspective? That's what Trump said himself. He said, take back the country from those that stole it from them. And then he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and called them patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of all that?
I just want to call back really quick to what you were saying. I don't think a 34 count felon should be. Park, I'm sorry. I don't agree. I don't think everybody should be able to run. I don't think a 34 count felon should be allowed to run for president.
Oh, no.
Hey, did you know that you can't cut the grass at the White House if you have a felony? But apparently you can be the president in the White House if you have a felony? Did you know that?
Dude, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
That's wild, right?
First off, those felonies would have been misdemeanors.
Sure, but did you know you can't even cut the grass as a felon at the White House, but yet you can be the president inside of the White House with a felony?
That's fucking nuts. In the Oval Office. Are you serious? What type of double standard is that? They should open it. They should open it up and make it so that people who have felonies have access to that.
So to finish my statement, again, I already said it. He was charged with felonies that would have been misdemeanors in any other case. But my point being, going back, yes, there should be limitations to elections. We can't have everybody. But the point is that Democrats or Republicans allow nobody to join in the debates. They make it so difficult to actually be a participant that they don't give us any choice.
Wait, you could say that it's hard for. Okay, that's fair. What's your point? That's true for both sides. Now, can you?
I guess my point is
can you please like address something relevant to the topic now? You won't talk about anything that's actually a threat to our democracy. You won't talk about Donald Trump going after people's free speech. You won't talk about him going after the Constitution, undermining people's constitutionally protected rights like due process. You won't talk about him specifically inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol. You won't talk talk about any of the
Don't
threats that
engage.
he actually poses to our rule of law, to our court system, to our constitution, to our actual core fundamental values like our democracy. But apparently it only makes sense to bring up specifically when referencing the Democratic policy in terms of how they have debate structure or how they have candidates elected.
He doesn't know things.
So, what's his name? I'm not particularly a fan of him, but when he got cut from YouTube,
Are you pivoting to something else?
Yeah, instead of addressing what I said.
Holy smokes, bro! You gonna twist your ankle? Slow down.
Like, was the government involved in that at all? Because Trump's administration was involved in it.
Well, I guess my point is were you guys fighting for free speech when that was happening? When those kind of things were happening?
I'm sorry. Free speech is enforced by the government, not by private businesses. Private businesses can kick you off if they want. That's not free speech.
The same thing
it's their freedom of speech to kick you off of their platform. That's freedom of speech.
Jimmy Kimmel, there was nothing wrong with Jimmy Kimmel getting kicked off
because that was
the show.
specifically forced and pressured by the
there was no action.
The FCC.
Words were said, but there was no action.
Okay, well, I mean, that's specifically they were under the impression that that was the case.
The FCC chair, the FCC chair threatened them to actually take action. But I would love for you to actually go back to what Parker said. You were talking about how you care about democracy, but you won't address any of those things that, like Parker he gave you a whole list and you didn't engage with any of them. You just tried to push on. Please go back and engage with that.
I forgot what he said, to be honest.
You don't care about democracy. Stop pretending.
I'm pretending, okay.
Yeah, you totally are pretending.
What I think is interesting is how you guys will never, ever go to the left side and say, you know what, I don't agree with this.
It's do always all the time.
Black and white.
I literally talked about things earlier.
Give me some examples.
Yeah, for example, the Democratic position on Israel. I am pro-Palestine. I think that there's a genocide happening in Gaza right now.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you. I don't think that we should be in there. I don't think we should be providing any money for it.
You voted for it. You literally voted for it. You literally voted. You keep saying that you agree with these things that Parker keeps listing, but you voted against all of these things. Every single thing that you keep saying. No.
You just mentioned Israel.
Netanyahu himself said that Trump was the biggest and greatest friend that Israel has ever had in the position of the Oval Office.
Let's go back to the stand topic.
Wait, do you want to address that? That's what Netanyahu said himself.
No, I want to address the fact that Kamala was for being in Israel, right?
And I just acknowledged that. But Netanyahu himself said that Trump was his greatest friend, right? It was Israel's greatest friend in the Oval Office that they've ever had.
Well, we all know how Trump is. You stroke his ego and he'll do things for you.
Okay, so now they acknowledge it's for stroking ego. So you won't do it with any other context for any other people. You're gonna, that's not just it. It's also because Donald Trump is extraordinarily pro-Israel.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that.
You voted for it.
But again, I go back to the fact that Kamala said that she would have done the same thing.
Donald Trump the same thing.
Exactly.
She definitely does not have the same position as Trump. Now, do I disagree with her position? Absolutely. But to act like her position is the exact same is not true at all.
If I recall, I think she changed her position, didn't she?
No. She expanded upon what her position was.
Kamala Harris was adamant about wanting a two-state solution and wanting the G-side to end in Gaza. It wasn't what we wanted to the fullest extent, but it was a step in the right direction. Donald Trump literally said that he wanted Israel to finish the job. He wanted to turn the Gaza Strip into a parking lot so he can build Trump hotels on it. He literally said all of these things. So again, you voted for it.
Yeah, she advocated for a ceasefire, and he said finish the job.
I voted for less war because that's what I was told. And less involvement.
No, go back and address the lie that you just told. Admit that you were wrong, and then you can pivot. Admit that you were wrong.
Oh, I wouldn't change my vote because again,
no. I'm not talking about your vote. I'm talking about what you just said as far as the Palestinians, as far as Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Admit that you were wrong, and then you can pivot.
Admit that I am wrong on what particular point?
Fuck it, I don't even care. Go ahead and pivot.
We'll never get to that point. It seems. How about this? Would you like to acknowledge any positions of Trump's that gets you to support him over Kamala Harris?
There's a lot more that I actually dislike about Trump right now than I like, frankly. I mean, there's so many things. Tariffs as an example. Tariffs is something that, yeah, I was for the idea of tariffs when the talk was that we would eliminate the federal income tax. Well, we haven't done that, so now we're getting double taxed on our goods,
Wait.
and we're still paying federal income tax.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Trump's economic policy is worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that I don't like about Trump.
So then,
and I'm
no,
not
what
here to
do you
argue.
like of him? What do you like of him then?
Well, again, the reasons that I voted for him was based on what they were going to do with healthcare, I shouldn't say healthcare so much because he doesn't have policy there, but what they were going to do with our food supply and the changes they're going to make there.
Like what?
Again, I wasn't. You look at his first term.
Like what?
We didn't have any.
Like what?
Wars.
Like what? Yes. What were they
Getting
going
all
to
the
do?
poisons out of our food. Mountain Dew is an example.
Wait,
We're a
no.
country
So
that sells,
what
other
poisons?
countries
Be
don't,
specific
so.
with what poisons.
I don't know what specific poisons, but you don't think we're being poisoned in this country? I mean, look at how.
No, you have to tell me what he's specifically addressing. I think that Trump is the one doing it.
Trump, this has been a 15, 20-year problem, if not longer. Trump didn't create this. You're going to say obesity and diabetes is a problem that Trump created? That's not the case.
No,
It's been around forever.
I'm saying
It's
that
never been
Trump makes
addressed.
health worse off in this country by reducing people's access to food, reducing people's access to health insurance, reducing people's access to things that they need, right? And also increasing the cost for pharmaceuticals in terms of putting a huge tariff on pharmaceuticals. We can talk about his cuts to the FDA. Do you want me to bring up specifically? I have an article right here how they axed 2 critical food safety or food safety committees. Do you want that? Yeah. Experts warn of public health risks as the Health Administration eliminates 2 food safety committees, 2 critical food safety committees. That's the title.
Okay. And what does that article say? What changes have been made because of it?
You go read it.
Yeah, I was just telling you the title if you'd like to go read it. But I mean, I can tell you.
Okay.
So there is the National Advisory Committee on Microbiological Criteria for Foods, and then the National Advisory Committee on Meat and Poultry Inspection.
So I think you guys think I'm unreasonable, but
I think you're being disingenuous because even in Donald Trump's first term, he deregulated multiple industries, including the food industries, causing multiple issues when it came to meat. Donald Trump believes in deregulation. He doesn't actually believe in making things better. So you can talk about the health and what we put in foods and chemicals and all this other stuff, but they're not actually doing anything. They're literally, what's their biggest win? That they put, cane sugar back in Coke. Like that's their biggest win.
Well, that's not a win.
Which already existed.
But I'll go back to the fact at least we're talking about it. And my hopes is that something will eventually become of it. Whether it's Democrats or Republicans, I don't care. I just think there's things that need to be addressed in this country that have been going on for far too long that we're just not doing nothing about. And neither party is, for most circumstances that I see.
So again, what is Trump doing?
I've been
That you
ordering
think
you
is
guys.
good?
I'm
You brought
51
up
years old.
the
I've been
one
around
thing
the
that you
world.
brought up was food safety, and he's worse on that. I just gave you evidence he's worse on that. So what things are Trump better on?
But again, you can't say what Democrats have done. What have they done?
I can mention things.
Oh, okay.
But
What
can
have they
you
done?
please
Obesity
I will
and
answer your.
diabetes is
Hey,
probably
dude,
higher
I
than
promise
it's
you,
been.
I will answer. But can you admit you don't know anything of what Trump's done?
I don't know anything of what Trump done. I'm familiar with what Trump's done. It's just most of it I don't
So
agree
then,
with.
what
it
do
right
you
now.
like of what he's done?
I know what he likes about Trump. What do I like about Trump?
Trump?
He likes that Trump is not a black woman.
Yes, that's exactly what it
that's
is.
what he likes about it because
That
you
is-
haven't listed anything else.
Yeah.
So unless from moving forward, unless you can actually tell us something that you do like about Trump that he's actually doing, then that's simply all that you can lean on.
You're absolutely right. I'm part of the KKK. I hate black women. You got me.
I believe you.
Yeah, it's sad that that's what you think.
I mean, you're the one that said it. It's not a hard thing to believe. I mean, again, you haven't substantiated anything, and you've only taken shots at her for, quote unquote, not being smart. Like it's weird. It's all weird. I mean, substantiate anything, just anything.
What about the interview that she did?
Why are you talking
Wait,
about Kamala
wait,
Harris?
Wait, why
again?
can't you address anything Trump has done
How
that you
come you
like?
don't want to talk about Kamala
Hey,
Harris now?
address.
She's not the
We
president.
we will. As soon as you fucking answer our points, you understand. Every single time we ask you a question, you fucking change the topic and you bring up something else. How about you answer a single fucking question we ask you? Are you
I
that
gave you
fucking
one thing that
ridiculous
mattered to me
that you
most,
can't
and that
answer a
was border.
single fucking simple question? What do you like that Trump has done? Name a simple fucking question. What do you
The
like
border.
that Trump has done?
I said it. The
Be
border.
specific.
I
What
said
about
it
the
multiple
border?
times.
What about
Do
the
you
border?
like that he
we don't
painted the
have-
fence? You
What's
like
that?
that he painted the fence? Got it. You like that he painted the fence? Got it. He painted the fence black on the U.S. side. Got it.
Are there fewer people coming to the country now than there was when Biden was in office?
How is that a
Why?
good thing?
Oh shit, Parker.
How old are
How
you?
is that a
up?
good thing? How old are you, Parker?
How old are you, America?
Are you
I'm 23.
pivoting again?
I'm
I-
46.
And do
Good
you
to
support
see you
Donald Trump?
again. You don't remember me, I guess. Yeah, I support Donald Trump.
Oh, I've already talked to you? Okay. Well, he said in the comment section, Parker's not as half as smart as he thinks. Go ahead. You were saying?
How old are you, Parker?
I'm 23 years old.
Okay, so you fit that generation. You're the same age as my daughter, and for the first time in our history, you may, because you got a pretty good gig going here, I'm guessing, but most people your age are probably going to struggle to buy a house, to start a family, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
you
Donald
keep
Trump
letting those
deregulated the
people
housing
in. We're not
market.
building enough houses for people
Donald
to
Trump
live in.
deregulated the housing market and allowed corporations to buy up single family homes. Also, it's also because 70-year-olds, the first time in our history of our country, you have more 70-year-olds than 30-year-olds buying homes. These people are buying homes and then using them as rental properties and trying to hoard wealth instead of actually buying what they need and allowing the market to naturally grow. It's not a housing issue as far as building homes, because we have more empty homes in America than we have people that are unhoused. Literally more empty and abandoned homes than we have people that are unhoused. It's not a housing issue. It's a hoarding issue. It's a capitalism issue. It's a
don't know
whole
where-
person issue.
I don't know where you live and where you think that to be the case. Might be the case overall, but I can tell you.
Yes, look at. There's actual nationwide evidence. I'm not even talking about where I live locally. Where I live in the state of Washington, where like houses are super expensive. But look at it federally. Look at the entire nation. That's the issue.
Well, I can tell you in Minnesota, houses out in the rural communities go like that, and same thing in
And
Minneapolis.
Trump is making it more expensive, and it's less likely that they're going to be sold, because it is the case that interest rates are going to be higher, because Donald Trump is putting upward pressure on prices, decreasing the likelihood that we can reduce interest rates as quickly as we would otherwise, given that there was lower levels of inflation.
So why are we building less houses then?
Because we have less abilities to buy the materials, because the materials cost more due to tariffs.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, you're not going to get me to debate on that.
So that's actually Trump's policies, again, causing the housing crisis to be worse. So you just actually proved how Donald Trump is worse for the economy again, instead of actually proving anything that he's better on. You have yet to mention what he's specifically better on, and actually uphold an argument for it, because everything you've brought up has been worse on behalf of Donald Trump.
Everything.
Yep, I'm completely wrong. Thank you.
I don't know. Do you think you're
Okay.
joking or something? You are completely wrong. You said it, not me.
So do you believe Biden was just the most amazing president we've ever had?
Why are you? Holy
Nice
shit,
pivot
you're
again.
pivoting
No,
again.
but I do think that he's better than Trump.
Really? A carcass. Okay.
He was not dead. He was definitely a lot more alive than Trump in terms of actually
Also, I
putting in
would take him
policies that
right
benefit us.
now. Exactly. Also, I would take him right now over Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Do you guys think we should have age limits as far as people running for Congress and president?
Pivot again.
Yeah, they shouldn't allow Trump to run. He's too old.
Yeah, well, so was Biden. So what do you think that
Okay.
age limit should be?
They're 3 years
Well,
apart.
it would actually mean so both of them can't.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
would agree with that. I think we should get rid of Pelosi.
They're literally.
I think we should get
Well,
rid of-
then why did you vote for the old guy over the young woman?
Again, I did not find her genuine.
Trump is almost 30 years older than Kamala. Almost 30 years older than Kamala.
I thought she was an empty suit.
If you thought there should be age limits, and you said that you want better housing, Kamala addressed that. You said that you wanted to see a better outcome in Gaza. Kamala wanted that. You said that you wanted universal health care or better health care. Kamala wanted all of that. Everything that you've named, that you said that you want, that you actually agree with, Kamala aligns with that. Donald Trump aligned with none of that. And you still have not said what Donald Trump has done better than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. And since you can't name any of those things, the only thing that I can think of is that you would rather have the white orange man instead of the black woman. That's it. That's it.
No.
Then substantiate something, because you're not proving me wrong, bud. Prove me wrong.
Obviously, I'm not going to change your guys' mind, so.
You
don't even have to change
if
it.
you had a good argument, you could, but you're not able to do so because you don't have a good argument. We've given you a good argument, which should change your mind.
You're suggesting that Kamala would have done everything that she said, and I think she's an empty suit.
No,
I don't know that she would have
we're
done
not
half
claiming
the
that
stuff.
she would have been able to do every single thing. We're claiming that she would have done more of what aligns with your views. Everything that she said aligns more with your views. So if you're going to judge based upon what they said they're going to do, like what Trump said he was going to do, because clearly he didn't follow through with half of that shit. He didn't drain the swamp. He didn't reduce the prices. He didn't drop the Epstein files. He didn't repeal and replace the ACA. He didn't do any of that. Okay, so like we can talk about all of those things. He didn't end the war in Ukraine and Russia in 24 hours.
Oh, he could have done that. He could have stopped the funding. That would have been done.
So then you understand we can point to a bunch of different things that, again, he said he was going to do, which he did not do. So clearly that's not the standard.
So.
Do you want to address any of
that? No. Address what he said. Don't pivot. Don't just say so. Address what Parker just said directly.
Well, pivot. Watch this.
I wish I could disagree with a lot of things he just said, but I can't.
So then again, why do you support Donald Trump over Kamala Harris?
You know what? It probably goes back to Barack Obama, frankly.
Oh, okay. So it's the black man this time.
Yep,
all right, go ahead and tell us about the black man.
No,
tell us how the black man made you not want to vote for the black woman.
When he ran, he was a pretty transformational figure. And when he ran, he promised America all these wonderful things. Hope and change. We're going to give you health care, all this stuff. What did he do? He started a bunch of wars. He's probably more Wall Street than any president. What did he do?
Both of those things are more to the extent on Trump. Trump renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War because they want to be more aggressive on war front actions. That's what they said themselves. They said themselves that they're more pro-war. Donald Trump claims to be literally the person that benefits Wall Street to the greatest extent. He gives massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. He went up to the top fossil fuel companies and said, if you give me $1 billion for my campaign, I'll give you $110 billion in tax cuts. He's consistently, over and over again, literally benefits the rich at the expense of middle-class Americans, and you're going to sit here and say that Obama was more likely to be in support of the rich? What are you talking about?
And that is my point that I don't think you guys understand. You think that Kamala would have ran on all the stuff, which, by the way, she changed policies. My point is that everyone is bought and paid for, and once you start understanding that, maybe you'll have a better understanding.
What evidence do you have that Kamala Harris is bought and paid for? What evidence?
Well, nothing, because she didn't win, did she? So I can't tell you.
So he has no evidence. So what's his evidence? What's his evidence? It's a trust me, please, please, please trust me. I feel like everyone's bought and paid for, so I'm just going to say it about everyone, even without any evidence.
Also, if you want to talk about bought and paid for it, if you want to talk about bought and paid for it, like Donald Trump literally had the richest man on earth backing his campaign, like and was open about it and out actually doing things like offering $1 million for voter registration in swing states. Like literally the richest man on earth spent $245 million on Donald Trump's campaign. If you want to talk about bought and paid for, you can't just say that you thought that Kamala Harris was when we openly see Elon Musk buying Donald Trump. Like you're being a hypocrite.
And both parties created that system.
Well, I'm sorry, if it's true with both parties, why is it something you're uniquely bringing up about Trump as to why you support him? I asked you what are reasons about Trump that get you to support him, and you're bringing up something that's true about both sides that you disagree with on both sides. So can you give me a reason that is true specifically about Donald Trump as a reason to vote for him over Kamala Harris?
I think you missed the point of why a lot of people from MAGA probably voted for Trump. It's the fact that they're desperate.
Racism,
They
sexism, and
don't.
classism.
So
Come on.
because you misunderstood what works with the economy. The number one reason in exit polling, right, as what they stated, they didn't state all of the other reasons. So obviously there are bigotries we could point to. They didn't state those, right? The number ones we can, based upon the exit polling, is that he specifically would be better for the economy, and that the Democrats were the cause of inflation, which is just something that they attribute to the Democrats, not because of a reason, but because of an association, just because it happened under the administration. And correlation doesn't equal causation. They didn't do anything to cause inflation, and Trump literally ran on policies to cause inflation, and then just lied about it and said that it would decrease prices, and people believed it because they don't understand economics.
Also, did you know that more white men, literally more white men, turned out to vote for Donald Trump than any other president in U.S. history? Literally, white men protected their spot on the patriarchal system and said that they're not going to have this black woman be the head of state. Literally, they showed up and voted for Donald Trump in numbers unseen, and he still only won by 1%. He still barely won the election, even though white men showed up and voted for him at all-time record highs.
You want to keep going back to race, but I can't say it strongly enough that I could.
You're
care
not
less
disproving what
the
I'm
race
saying.
is.
You just keep saying this is not about race, but you still haven't said anything that disproves that.
I don't know what you want me to say to disprove.
Tell
that
us
I'm not
why
racist
you
or
actually
sexist.
Like,
support
literally, give us
Trump.
like a reason.
And-
Like, I'm serious. We're just asking
Yes.
for a legitimate reason why you say that Trump is a better
I kind
candidate.
of told you
Something
the
that's unique to
system
Trump.
is broken. The
And
system
Trump
is
is
broken.
what makes the system more broken.
Yeah, well, it was broken before he got into office.
Well, I'm sorry. Trump makes it worse.
We can argue that, but
No, we've already got you to agree with that.
yeah, it can.
On
You asked-
literally every topic we talked about, you have agreed with us that Donald Trump
Yes.
is worse. And we're asking you for
Yes.
just one example of something that Donald Trump is better on.
And I told you the one thing that mattered was the border, and that's because I'm
Okay,
racist.
what
I
about
guess.
the border?
We need to shut it off. We need to slow down the people coming into this country. That's
Okay, so now
the
I'll ask you
brown
this
people
question.
can't
Would
come
you
in.
prefer zero immigration in this country?
No, I don't think that's necessary. We have to have immigration because we need people working, in this country to fill some of
so
those
we
jobs.
need people. So then why are you... Okay, so I could actually point to this. We need the level of immigration that happened under the Biden-Harris administration, because the immigration surge that happened under the Biden-Harris administration will lead to an $8.9 trillion increase in the GDP by 2034, which will allow for us to build up our level of tax revenue so that we can pay for systems like Social Security and Medicare, because it is the case in the reality that by 2032, it will literally go insolvent because of the Big Beautiful Bill, because the Big Beautiful Bill made it even more likely to go insolvent. So what an insolvent means is that they're going to have to reduce the level of benefits or cut how many people are going to be allowed to be on it, because we won't have the revenue in order to pay for it.
Well, there's a good example. I will be one of the people that fall into that category of that I may not collect Social Security. So yeah,
You voted for it. I'm
You
sorry,
say
I don't care.
voted
You
for it, but
voted
I
for
do
it.
not- you keep saying that, but I do not see the
you
Democrats
did.
fixing it either. What have they done in the last 50
What do they
years?
what do
to
they
fix
do
Social
better? What do they do better?
Security?
They want to make
They
illegal...
robbed it. They took the money.
How do they rob?
You don't think the government's taking money out of Social Security?
I think that's because of Republicans, not because of Democrats. For example, Democrats are wanting to get rid of the
Nice.
cap on Social Security that limits after a certain level of income, right? You paying into Social Security.
You guys legitimately think that we have a two-party system?
Yes.
Really?
What does that have to do with Social Security?
Why does he keep pivoting?
Why are you
like,
pivoting
literally
again?
every
Exactly.
single time he just pivots.
Because you think that the
Anytime
Democrats are
anytime you
gonna
pin
sit
him
here
down
and
on
just fix
something that he
stuff, and
knows that he
they
can't
aren't,
actually
and they
speak to,
haven't.
he just pivots. Like, just address it. Like, if you concede, then you can pivot. But like, you're not just gonna pretend like their points aren't being made. Like, the fact that we're sitting here taking time to explain these things and addressing these actual, untruths. I'll be kind and call it untruths that you're saying, and we're correcting you, but you won't even actually engage or address it. Like, what are we even doing?
What am I saying that's necessarily untrue?
Everything.
Everything.
We've already
Everything.
argued
Just
it.
be honest and say it with your chest. Just say the quiet part out loud. Say it with your chest. Like, literally, everybody knows who you are at this point. Just say it. Like, be truthful. Be you. Like, what are we doing?
Yes. That's BS. You guys,
Okay,
it's so
then say it
typical of
with
the
your chest,
Democratic Party.
bud.
You want to turn this into race and
Say it
sexism.
with your chest, bud, because you have
Again,
done
I
nothing
don't
to actually
care.
sustain. The only thing that you could say is that you don't want the brown people coming from the border anymore.
No, I didn't say that either. I told you. I
You
said we
said the
need
southern border.
immigration.
You said the
Yeah,
southern border.
I
Why
said
didn't
we
you?
need
Why
to
didn't you?
slow it
Why didn't
down. We
you?
had
Why didn't you
10,000
address the
people coming,
northern border?
15,000 people every day
Why
coming
didn't
through
Why
there.
didn't you address the northern border or people that overstayed their visas or like why didn't you address any of those?
We should
But
address
you
that
you
too,
immediately went to the southern border.
because that's where the majority of the problem was.
That's not true. That's
We have
absolutely
more
not
people
true.
coming from Canada.
You have more people that overstay their green cards and their visas.
Yeah, so fix it.
But you're not talking about that. You're just talking about the brown people coming from the southern border.
Again, fix it. I have no problem with fixing it.
All right, whatever, dude.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about, our admin?
No, I don't have anything else.
Of course not.
How old are you, Santana?
38. Why?
38. Just curious. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys giving me the platform, and I know you don't agree with me and you think I'm stupid, but I appreciate the time.
No,
And
no, no.
Parker,
We absolutely agree with you. That's the whole point that we've been making. You've agreed with everything that we've said. You've just been disingenuous. You've literally agreed with all the things we said.
Yeah, we think that you kind of agree with us, but like it seems like you're just not willing to accept the conclusion that it comes from agreeing with us, like on practically everything.
yeah, well, again, the reasons I voted for Trump were the border. It was because of less wars. I don't think we should be spending money overseas like we do, and I want less wars. I don't think we should need to be killing people for oil. I think our
We
food
agree.
supply needs to
We
be
want less wars too. We just don't think that Trump leads to that.
right. And again, you may be right, but I guess my point is that the Democrats haven't done that for 25 years either. So where do you want people to go when the Democrats aren't following through with policy either?
So we agree that specifically the Democrats need to address this as well in terms of being to a greater extent anti-war, but that doesn't mean that Donald Trump is better in that context. So when we're comparing for the election, it's one side versus the other. We pick the better side. We can acknowledge that we disagree with both sides in terms of how much pro-war they are.
Well,
Also, can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like people like you, right, have missed the point as far as like how democracy works. And for you to say that you used to be a Democrat, right? If you were truly a Democrat and you align with all these things that we spoke about, then what you do is you vote for harm reduction. And then the way that we actually protest Donald Trump is the way that we should protest our party when we have power. And that's where the disconnect is. The disconnect is we tend to get in power and say, well, we want them to do the things that we want them to do, but we don't hold their feet to the fire. The way that we actually get change is, yes, we vote in people that align closer with the things that we want. And then once we have those people in power, we protest, we march, we stand up, we scream until we actually get them to do the things that they said they were going to do. We don't go vote for the other side because the other side is in complete opposite as far as the things that we say that we want. So you voting for Donald Trump has taken us further away from the things that you said that you want. That doesn't even make sense. You put your party in power and then you hold their feet to the fire. Like that's the problem that we have as far as the left. We give these people power and then we don't hold them to it. That's what we need to do. When the Democrat Party has power, then we protest and then we make them hold up to what they said they were going to do.
So what you should be fighting for is some of the things that I believe. I believe that you shouldn't be able to be 80 years old and be president. I believe there should be
We've
term
already
limits. I
agreed on
believe
that, but
money
the
should be
difference
out of
is
that.
the difference is that I voted for someone that I could hold accountable for those things. Donald Trump will never acquiesce to those things that you want. Never.
And how do you hold them accountable?
I literally
By
go back and watch it
protesting?
on YouTube. Go back on Parker's VOD and watch it on YouTube. I'm not going to say it again.
I'll go check it out, but protesting doesn't change policy all the time.
What?
Doesn't.
Protesting is the way in which you change policy. That's what we're doing right now. We're protesting.
Well, we'll see if things change, right?
You understand that things have changed. People change their views, and that puts different pressure on the system.
Do you believe it's a slam dunk for the Democrats in 2028?
I don't know what that even's supposed to mean. I don't know
Well,
what that
you're
even means.
suggesting that Trump is worse. So if that's truly the case, then what's going to happen in 2028?
Well, I would have hoped that Trump lost in this election. I know he was significantly worse, but that doesn't mean he's going to win or lose just because I believe that he's worse. Does that make sense?
Sure. But I guess my point is that Democrats don't really have anybody to run on. And again, I don't
We
know
do,
if
we
you.
do. And again, like you haven't really provided any reason why you like prefer Trump. I think you're just trying to like talk to us about other things at this point.
Yeah, well, I just want you guys to think once in a while of what on the side that I represent, the Democrats, what do they do that I do not like, and what am I
You
doing to
don't.
change
We've
You
been
don't
that?
doing that.
represent
We always do
Democrats.
that. I don't know why you're acting like we don't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, again,
Let's
Parker,
go to the next person, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up if you're going to help get it out to more people.